bag.
Yeah. Okay, what I have presented or put together for you is a proposed new ordinance concerning city attorney duties and salary. I did include the previous ordinance, which was approved in January 1st, 2011. I believe that was when right around Mr. Ogle started, and then I took over October of 2011. It's my understanding that prior to that 2011, it's not my understanding, I've seen it, there was a contract with this a city attorney to perform duties, and that city attorney was actually paid hourly. That proved to be quite expensive. So it's, my understanding that's why this ordinance was done, was to just make it a salary position, because duties and things, and I mean, Mandy can give you the number specifically, but I believe it was about double my salary. So basically what you'll see from that ordinance, there's quite a few things that I do that just weren't in there, so I felt like that those needed to be added. Municipal court isn't even mentioned in the ordinance. That is a big part, obviously, what I do. Takes a lot of time. And then I just wanted to clarify some of the meetings and things that I do as part of my day-to-day duties. The one thing I want to point out is, Section 2 is everything that's under the salary, and then Section 3, this is in the previous ordinances, extra things that are that I do bill hourly for. For example, you had something in your items tonight. It was just a small civil action that we filed against a utility customer. Anything in district court, that's considered extra. And then the airport project was a big one. That was extra. I did add in here, next time we redo the comprehensive plan or rewrite the city code, to me that's over and above the normal. I've spent a lot of time on that. I don't anticipate that's going to happen again for quite a few years, but to me that's something that's over and above. But that's, again, just suggestions. I won't make changes as you guys suggest, but based on the number of hours that I spend per month, I am requesting a slight increase in the salary, about $600 per month. So, and just to give you, I guess, an idea of normal, customary attorney rates here in town, I think the minimum for a private attorney is 150. It goes up from there, 150 an hour. So. Just to give you an idea, obviously if you're in a bigger city, that would be much more than that. But so what's in here is the salary, and then $100 an hour for the extra stuff. This is super uncomfortable to talk about. Anyway.
You're basically writing your own raise.
And I guess I had to speak to just in the month and a half that I've been here, where I came from, we had to pay for the attorney as we went, type of thing. And what it really did is it precluded us from using them a lot of times when we should have, and so it ended up being more expensive. So having access to Katie and it really helps move the process along and keep us on the ball. Now, of course, I'm only speaking for a month and a half, but I'd say it's been well worth it so far. And
Chief Elam?
And we call her after hours.
Yeah.
She really doesn't. She was really yelling at us about that.
Yeah, Sergeant Les called me a while ago.
So we do that as well. So she really does a little bit more than she probably.
Well, I think she's done us a great job over the last, that was 5 years. 5 years, and she attended a lot of meetings for us and represented us and give us a lot of good advice. And I personally think she's worth every penny of that. So.
Looking it over, I thought it was very reasonable. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me that I would suggest making a change to, honestly. So.
Well, the initial part was rookie phase. This is your first time being a city attorney, right?
Yep.
So,
I'm not a rookie anymore, I guess.
So we still pay for helping you on.
yeah.
Well, I hope over the past couple of years in particular have been very busy. So that's okay. I got some stuff done.
So basically, next step is we would see this come to us for approval.
Yeah, next step. Yeah.
Katie, thank you for your effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job with that.
is parking on West Main.
So again, this is not necessarily, this is I kind of put together really quick, but so we had a just request to look at some parking issues along West Main, right in front of the old library. The grain truck was trying to go one way, and the car was trying to go the other way, and there's parking, and some damage was done to a vehicle. So you just request to look at it. Basically, did a little bit of research. You know, down further, if you see those blue tabs on that sheet, that's the best way I could put it. Those are kind of where some approximate no parking signs begin and start, kind of in that goalie that kind of goes through there, if you kind of visualize it. So right in that block by the old library, et cetera, there's parking on both sides that's allowed. And then we have signs down in that area for that 2 or 3 block stretch. When I actually go look at our city code, the no parking is not even in the code, so we couldn't even enforce really the no parking zone where it's posted on the sign. It's probably one of those like, let's put some signs up and that'll teach, you know. It's not even designated here. What is designated in the code is that is a truck route. So it is a truck route. I mean, I know it's going through town, but it has been designated such through there, West and East Main, you know, for the grain hauling purposes. So again, I kind of brought it to you guys as I have a tough time making a call since I'm new to the area and the situation. You know, you hate to be reactive and say, well, let's make no parking right there because one car got pinched, you know, but on the flip side, maybe it's happening a lot more than we know about. So I didn't know what the thoughts are, you know, kind of taking the temperature of the room as far as what people's thoughts were through there or not.
Is that Independence through Central?
With that being, it's a residential area too. There's people with homes along there that
They need to park.
they need to park.
Yeah. You know, to me, it's kind of like a courtesy. I mean, even in Fairfax, people park on both sides of the street. It's kind of, you know, you had to kind of sneak in behind the car, let the other one through, and you snuck back out. You know, trying to squeeze through there.
Well, at some point we need to go back over that road too. I mean, that road's kind of an older road.
As far as a redo.
Well, but you're only talking no parking on the north side of that street.
Yeah, and that would be right in there between Lincoln and Chestnut, so it's just that one block. But again, there's houses there, and it's right across from the library or the Solomon Valley Hospice. You know, so they need some parking, and
They have no parking.
They have parking.
they have parking. They also have staff.
Yeah.
And I went there.
My wife's car got hit there a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Same area.
Same area.
Yeah.
Had a mirror taken off.
Because right after that in downtown, it gets wide. You know.
And you know, but some of that too,
But-
those people coming in with those big trucks need to be slowed down with it too.
Yeah.
And, but we are an agricultural community.
Yeah.
Dave?
And speaking of our parking, we were following up with your call. There's nothing in the ordinance that says it can't park there as long as I can't prove that it's a junk vehicle, the tag is current. So if you put a time frame, if the council decides to take action on a time frame of how often a vehicle has to move from a position that it's in, and that, we don't have that in any of our ordinances.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can sit there forever.
Yeah.
As long as you tell me.
Because I think on that north side of the street, if I'm not mistaken, most of those houses have driveways on the north side, to where that wouldn't necessarily be a situation where they would have to park out in the street.
Most of them have more than one
Have an
vehicle.
exit way out through the alley too.
Yeah, there's an alley.
For sure, if one of them has parking off of Independence, I believe.
Yeah, really, it just begs the, you know, first of all, we need to tidy up what is the no parking, because it's not even really delineated, even the signs that are there, it's kind of like, so is it from here to there? You know, you don't even know. You know, I drove it like 3 times. And,
They're about this.
Both
big.
sides of the street or just the street?
yeah, well, one's even on a light pole.
Well, yeah, man, they're real visible.
Sure. Yeah, so, you know, I guess I wanted to get feedback from you. Obviously, we're going to have to fix that part of it. I do have some parking suggestions from my communities in Burbage as far as, you know, moving vehicles, so you don't have people just park a car, you know, for 4 weeks straight in the same spot. You know, we found that effective. It wasn't like we were actively looking for it, but it helped us get rid of vehicles that were just stored on the street. So for you something to consider. But I didn't know if there's feedback through there, if we leave it the same and just clear up the no parking area, or if we try to go maybe just no parking on one side of that whole thoroughfare, or what.
I guess I'd like to see us clean up what we have before we put anything else in place, just to see what effect that has.
I think if you're gonna do it, you need to do it all at the same time, because if you're gonna fix it and enforce what's already there,
Sure.
then you have to come back and do it again just to add on. And then how long do you do it?
And really, it's really about one block there where we're thinking of doing it too. And I could, there's 3 houses there. I could always canvas them. Maybe they don't care that they have no parking in front of their house.
One thing we did when we were going up North Mill was we had a city meeting where we invited all the people along North Mill to come in and
Talk
say
about
what they
it.
wanted, because we were thinking expand or keep it the same. This might be another one of those instances where we seek citizen input along that stretch and see what
Sure.
people live there, because they're the ones that are gonna be spraying.
Exactly. Yep. Kind of canvas them.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Gotta get a minute.
That's what I'll do.
Okay. Jason's knocking them out of the park for this evening. Next item is the solid waste agreement.
Yes.
This is about Katie.
Yeah.
Kind of a tag.
Yep. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but before we get into the, creating a new contract for the, residential trash collection, I wanted to update our code. What you have in front of you is new language. It was old. What we had, a lot of things were just old, out of date, needed some clarification, so I tried to do that here. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I guess some of the specific things I wanted to do was clarify the heavy bulky waste that is not part of considered residential collection, that will have to be at the owner's expense. Is there any questions?
I didn't see anything here.
It's just kind of cleaning up what we have. There's no major changes. I just want to do this before we get, so the person so Heiser Road kind of knows exactly what.
I was seeing this and knows where you're at.
Well,
on
no,
this,
because it
or-
hasn't been, once you guys adopt it, then because that'll be part of this contract, comply with the city code. So, and some of that, particularly the heavy bulky waste, that kind of, it's really up to him, some of that stuff, but we aren't supposed to be throwing that away now, so he is.
I think he had something in his.
He will do it at their
He
expense.
handled that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he can certainly do that, but it's up
Do
to
you,
him
do you
to.
think it would be to our advantage for him to take a look at this first?
Yep,
Before it
I can
comes
sure,
back to us?
I can sure send it to him, yep.
I mean, that way, if it met his approval, then we can approve it at the next meeting, and if he had some questions, then we know he has questions.
Yep, I can do that.
Yeah, I thought most of it looked like common sense, nothing really jumping out.
Yeah.
Is e-waste code in here?
No, I added
Well,
recyclable
it might be,
materials, but
because it has poisons.
and they want to add e-waste, because recyclable material, that's a new one. Trying to keep things up to date, so.
If your computer's the size of a closet, it's considered old.
Old server rack.
Old server from 1960 or something.
And that's probably something, I would encourage those guys to talk to Heiser Road about, if he sees, some computers sitting out, just leave them and call these guys. Yeah. So, no reason for them to go to landfill if they don't have to. Certainly some things that people can work together on. Okay, that's all I have.
Can we get some, maybe some monetary things for this taking place?
Seems it's such a conflict.
They call that kickback.
I'll get you a really cheap hit.
Oh, you didn't want to go that far.
I'll pass.
Well, you're on the record.
You can give everybody else share to everybody else. Next on our agenda is the rural farm lease on city property.
Yeah, this is kind of, I picked this up when I started here right in the first week there, but this is the current farmers that are farming the land right by our sewer treatment plant facility. They've been doing it for, oh boy,
3 years.
3 years, okay, 3 years, so the contract's up for renewal. Earlier this fall or summer even, Mandy had approached Jay at the time and said, hey, we're getting a really good price per acre for this. You know, it makes sense. We researched it based on the K-State or KU, I'll say both, you know, both excellent colleges. What the average yields are for dry land or irrigated land. So it was advantageous to the city to kind of just keep the contract in place for a couple reasons. First of all, it's a great price to not go to bid. Secondly, we know the outfit, we know the farmers, they know us as far as we need spread on 5 acres a year our human waste or manure, I guess you could say. So we need to have an area for that. So they're used to that. They're easy to work with in that area. So basically, what's before you is kind of a lease adjusted based on our experience with them so far. So we've adjusted some of the tree trimming issues we've had there. There is some adjustments for the waterway. There's a big waterway through there that has quite a bit of erosion issues, so we're going to have to work on that and deal with that. We have a big main sewer line that's exposed there right now. It's probably deeper than the hole's probably deeper than myself.
Are they going to clean up all the trees they dozed up in the bottom?
So that's a concern. That's kind of what we brought it here. So if we need to talk with them and do that, because we haven't signed anything. It's just here it is to get feedback first. So that's duly noted that we will talk to them about that. But part of the solution for that waterway, it is a USDA waterway, but once we get their permission, kind of maybe get it staked out, as I've already talked to Eric up at the college, and they got their heavy equipment guys that can play around there, get that dirt pushed back in there to make that work. So there might be some solutions there. So any questions or any comments?
Yeah. Another one. Are they going to be responsible for disking in our waste, or is the city going to take over doing that?
Basically, it would be my suggestion that we would take over that. Currently, they do it for us. However, it's by code, I believe it has to be done within 6 hours of spreading, and that's really tough. It hasn't been done. It's been 2, 3, 4 days later, and it's not being a good neighbor, and it also could potentially get us in quite a bit of trouble, I'm assuming, with the KHE or whoever's over that part of it. And so I've already instructed Jim to be looking for just a really cheap, just an old farm sale, disc, 10-foot disc. That way we can hit it whenever we do it and get it covered up right away in a timely fashion. So
that'd be a great improvement. Because if you live down in there, work down in that area,
it's still gonna smell. I grew up in hog country. It still smells, but at least it'll be better.
It smelled bad. If it was in your backyard, I bet you'd be doing more than that.
It smells like it's in my backyard.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. First time I'd ever noticed it. It was pretty bad.
Besides the tree issue, any other concerns or questions?
That was my only issue, is the waste sitting out for longer than it's supposed to.
Yeah, and they didn't disc it, they turbo tilted it, so they wasn't turning it over.
Oh, they're just
But anyway, if we take care of it, it's no issue.
Yes.
This is basically the same contract as he had last time.
Mm-hmm.
Just change the dates.
We changed the number of acres. I changed the tree trimming, no grazing.
we cover the.
We take care of our own stuff.
Our e-waste.
Yeah.
Who waste?
Our waste. But yes, the price has changed.
Sludge.
Yeah.
So there's a reduction.
Right.
You went from 134.2 to 128 acres, so there's a little bit reduction in price. What they're paying. They were actually paying us for that 5 acres. So.
Yeah. Good product. Thank you.
Okay. North Campus zoning.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to work you guys out. Sorry. I'm used to the long house where I came from. We went to like 10:30. So.
Shame on you.
I know. Last thing, and again, this is just to get some little bit of feedback before I put a lot of effort in. I want to make sure I address your concerns and go the right direction. This has kind of been brought up by Mayor Tom and several council members and myself, and obviously even in the recruitment profile. Hey, how do we get this development going and get rid of it? And obviously I kind of sold myself no developments and how we can get rid of it. So part of it is just kind of the zoning issues and the ready committee and trying to make it easy to purchase up there and to get the move. It's coming to the point where there's a lot of maintenance costs and mowing the grass and the tax assessments and the street assessments are all coming, and it's obviously a lot of it's passed through back and forth, but still it's more and more doing it, and I'd like to see them get moved. So as you can see on this map, and this is unfortunately the biggest one I could blow up at the time, but a lot of that, so the lots directly behind the roadside park there are zone R2, residential district 2. And then across the street from that, kind of in the middle, it's zone multi-use, mixed use. So I'm assuming that's a multi-family type zoning district. Hopefully I'm saying
It's
this right.
whatever you want.
It's whatever you want.
Yeah, it can be about, just about anything you can do that.
Yeah. So, you know, personally, we've had in where I came from, we had a neighborhood that was that way. It was difficult for the homeowners. It was difficult for the appraisers. You know, because there's condos mixed with single-family homes. It got to be kind of tough, especially for people who are pursuing fixed financing. That's what I always think about. Okay. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they like round pegs and round holes. Okay, so if we get kind of a goofy situation, it can be tough. So, you know, part of what we talked about last week is potentially kind of flip-flopping that a little bit, you know, and just pursuing that, you know, where your mixed use, you know, again, probably more zone more for your multi-family type stuff would be up behind that west side park, kind of as a buffer, you know, your roadside park, and then kind of your mixed use, your duplexes or whatever they're going to be. And then really the rest of it should all be a R1 or R2, you know, just a single family home, you know, leading up into Silver Fox Estates. You know, so trying to keep that as big of an area as joined together as you can. Yes, Matt.
R1, that's where you're not allowed to have a garage or a shed.
That I don't know the districts that well. Chris, do you know R1 versus R2? What's the differences?
R1 is single-family dwellings only.
Okay.
R2 is 1 and 2 family dwellings and
Okay.
townhouses.
Like
Yeah.
duplexes, townhouses.
Yeah.
Duplex is R2.
Yeah. And then
The multi-use, when we talked to that, was R1, R2, and some R3, and light commercial.
Like a
So-
deli or something.
yeah, that's not good. I would, yeah, sorry. I didn't say that. I would just say, basically.
E-waste company?
Yeah, that's a concern. Well, like Chris would like a restaurant or.
No, it'd be like a computer repair store.
Okay,
Would
so like
be
a-
like a dentist shop, a dentist,
Like a professional office.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. But anyways, what I was looking for is any feedback, because what I can do is I can kind of put together a proposal of what I'd like, you know, what I would think maybe we could make that look like. And then also, what I'd like to do is get your feedback on the Ready Committee. You know, I understand probably the Ready Committee more for the commercial lots, so we kind of vet that, we kind of have a process for that. My concern is if we don't make this easy peasy, you know, hey, it's 15 grand to buy a lot, you know, and here's the deed, and here's a check, you know, and go build a house, it's, you know, we're kind of seeing why it's a little bit difficult to get these moved, Matt.
My big concern with getting rid of the Ready Committee is that you're gonna have one buyer that comes through and wants to buy the whole thing and sit on it, and we get nothing after that. That was the whole.
Like we are now.
genesis. Well, no, we've got some properties that have sold and they're moving, it's not all one owner.
Sure.
And we've got a development that's coming in.
Understand.
We've had offers in the past to buy the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you know that the plan is they're gonna sit on it until one big entity comes in and gives them a big profit to build one big thing. But I don't believe that's gonna happen.
Sure, and I would say that not the Ready Committee for the commercial, the Ready Committee for the commercial area, I think, is that still around for that, or I don't, listen, maybe I'm misspeaking here, but I'm just saying for the residential lots, we gotta make this simple, and I don't care, yeah, if we wanna put no more than 25% of this designated area can be bought by one developer or one entity, but really, I just want to make it so we can put a phone number up there and people can call me and buy a lot. You know what I mean? Buy it and build a house. And I think that if we make too much confusion, we're losing the other little developments in town. I know of one and over by Katie's area that they just kind of got frustrated, went over there and bought a lot. So that's another lot that they lost. So you know, I think getting rid of the time frame to build a house on, I mean, people are going to buy a lot and they're going to build a house. You know, they might sit on it for a while, but ultimately they're going to build a lot. And we've sat on it for 4 or 5 years now. Yeah.
My biggest concern is the longer we let these sit, the more the city and the residents who are having to spread this out apart.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see, you know, us continuing to pay for an empty lot when we could have sold it to somebody else.
Agreed. So, you know, I'll bring some of those considerations in. You know, I understand, you know, maybe trying to figure out some mechanisms that we're not allowing, you know, developer just to come in and buy all of it. I mean, depends on the scenario, but I think I can work with that and figure out how to get these moved and make it simple for people. You know, just, hey, here's the price, let's buy it, just kind of like a realtor situation. It's not a lot of hoops to jump through, because that's gonna steer people away.
You know, if somebody wants to come in and buy all the lots, I don't have a problem with that.
Sure.
Except that I'm not going to allow somebody to come in and say, all right, I'm gonna buy all these lots, but I want them 10%. So that's the one.
Yeah.
No, if it's
Well,
15, it's 15.
Yeah, and I think part of what, to answer to Matt's concern too, is, you know, obviously if we have it zoned correctly, the zoning is gonna dictate what can go in there too, you
Yeah.
know, and so that's where you maybe don't bend on it, you know, for people saying, hey, well, I'm gonna put a big thing there. I mean, if it's all single family homes, they know right going in, that's probably what it's gonna stay, because it's really hard to go from single family to commercial. At least that's what I found, you know, and
I wouldn't have a problem changing that mixed use to a straight residential either, to eliminate the business aspect in that, just to solidify the neighborhood as sort of one type.
And I'll blow this up and kind of bring you what I would think would work well, and we can still tweak it from there, so we're gonna have to go through the planning commission and get that all changed anyways, but, it's fun.
Tell us what we want to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, with that, thanks everybody for coming this evening. And we know Lee's going to be successful when it's a
Yeah. It's a recycle for the computer.
keep sending everyone like, hey.
He's gonna hold a box at the door as everybody leaves.
Walking around with an electromagnet, oh, your computer, I'm sorry.
So, yes, we did do something.
Bye, Mom.